Over the past year at Roadtrip Nation, we have tried to continue to amplify the stories that matter, stories that need telling, because we've really come to believe that your story is your strength. To us, sharing your story means passing on your knowledge, advice, and confidence to someone who might need it. So today we're going to spotlight 3 stories that we heard this year to show you the direct and immediate impact that sharing stories can have. First up, let's meet Kimberly, a young mother who was wondering if a PhD was possible for her and looking for ways that her education could help her native community. Here's a story that changed her path.
One of our first interviewees was Dr. Carrie Joseph. She's an environmental PhD scientist. She went through her schooling with her child and she made it all the way through to her PhD.
Tribal research is my heart, that's kind of where my work is my passion is. Some of the challenges of becoming a young mother at a young age, I had a lot of people in my community, they had high hopes and dreams for me, and then all of a sudden they find out, oh man, she's pregnant. Her dreams have ended, basically. And I felt like that was kind of the narrative that was told for me. So it was very difficult to look past that because I always had aspirations, they were always there. You know what your passion is, and that's basically what has to drive your path, because it does get really challenging.
So I think with Carrie, I found my new superhero. I physically see her footprints like in front of mine, that she's crossed these barriers and these paths and she's doing it, and I see myself taking those next steps for my PhD. I can't wait to make change. I can't wait to break ground and to start tackling these things. And I can't wait to have my impact on the world with these topics.
Next, let's meet Kyle, who helped Aaron shift their perspective on their unique skill set.
Hey, my name's Kyle Tripp. I'm 28 years old, and I'm an apprentice for Local 25 Union Ironworkers. This world is going to have quite a shortage of welders coming up, and really like all trades. So I'm definitely an advocate for promoting trades in itself. I wish it was kind of sold to me more when I was younger. Now I'm sitting here dang, I could have been doing this for, the last 10 years. I'm not sure the numbers, but it's insane. Almost our infrastructure could collapse if people do not start joining the trades.
I hear a lot of what you're saying echoed in things that I've thought before about myself. I have a lot of things that I've learned just randomly throughout my life that I don't think of as really being that important. The other day I fixed the steps on the RV. I took the motor apart and put it back together, and I'm yeah, whatever. And they're all no, that's super cool. So do you feel that plays into the shortage of people? Because I also feel it plays into the woman kind of thing, because it's
yeah.
Oh, it's not something I'm supposed to do. I'm not supposed to get my hands dirty. Society's
right.
no, you're not supposed to do that. So do you think that is part of why it's harder for women to get into it?
Don't overthink it. It's a family, a sisterhood, brotherhood. We're all one, so it didn't matter that I was a female showing up to work. We're all there to get the job done, and everyone's got each other's backs. And then you work through it, you get more comfortable, you have more confidence, so you know what you're doing. And I'm well, okay, I'm doing this. We're building entire structures. It's I am playing a very important role in this. So you gotta show up.
I feel I connected with Kyle. I've been around construction and all that for so long, so it was really fun to be able to talk to women who have found a career path for that, because that's something that has been a bit of conflict within myself, oh, this isn't something I'm supposed to be good at.
And finally, we're going to introduce you to Cordero. He has big dreams, but after being incarcerated, he wasn't 100% sure how to make them happen. Here are a few of the stories that gave him a new confidence.
I can't wait to talk to the Mayor of Montgomery, Stephen Reed, as well as City Council member LaTanya Tate of District 9. A lot of folks tell me that, one day I might be the mayor of Phoenix. Talking with them may just encourage me to run for office in Phoenix, so let's go.
My journey for City Council started because my son is formerly incarcerated. Prior to that, I didn't want to have anything to do with criminal justice or anything. But when it hit my door, that whole perspective changed. It was what are we going to do to turn this pain into purpose? And that's fight. And that's doing what I did, run for elected office.
I'm encouraged just to sit here with you, being the first African-American mayor of the city of Montgomery, because I grew up in a low socioeconomic environment where only the things that I was exposed to as a young child was what I believed that would be my life work. Now I'm sitting here with you, and I'm encouraged.
When you haven't seen it, you don't know that you can be it.
And in order for us to move the needle and to fight this system, we gotta turn this pain into purpose. And I wanna see more of us run for office, because I feel it, next mayor.
When you talk about individuals saying like, Cordero, you could do this, Cordero, you could be the mayor. I remember hearing that a couple years ago and thinking like, it's been funny. But representation is important, and when I see folks that look like me in those kind of seats, and it means that it could happen.
So what's your story? What are the things that you're interested in? What do you believe in? What's your background? What was the environment that made you the person that you are? Most likely your story kind of sits at the intersection of all of these things that make you, you. So we have a challenge for you. In 2023, we want you to start owning and sharing your story. And even though your story and your experiences are totally unique to you, I promise you, there are people out there who need to hear it. Because we truly believe everybody has something to share, and everybody can benefit from seeing their similar hopes and dreams played out in someone else's life. No matter how you choose to share your story, it has the power to show others like you what's possible, and it can mean all the difference to those who need to hear it most. This is actually our last video of the year, so I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been along for the journey, and make sure and subscribe to see what we've got in store next year.